local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us here at the new Lloydminster Nissan. And right now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, you get 0% financing on the incredibly popular Nissan Rogue, Nissan Sentra, or Nissan Kicks models. And a reminder that here at the new Lloydminster Nissan, the service department is now open on Saturdays from 9 to 1. That's for oil changes and for tire work. And I know the service department would love you would give them a call. They've just started that, so they've got lots of space coming up on this Saturday. And Nicole Polishuk is the president of the Vermilion Ag Society. She joins us today with a look ahead to the Vermilion Fair. It's always very popular. We'll also be joined by Heini Westergaard with the Vermilion River Lawn Mower Racing, and they'll be at the Vermilion Fair this year as well. And they've got we're going to look back at their June races as well and see how that went for them. It's not just a name, it is Superior Water. Superior Water has 2 locations in Lloydminster, and they're open on Saturdays, and that makes filling your big blue jugs a whole lot quicker and a whole lot easier if you've got a busy week. And if you want great tasting water right from your tap, call Superior Water and ask about their under the sink reverse osmosis systems. 780-875-6636. I drink Superior Water because, after all, it is Superior Water, open on 57th Avenue Monday to Friday 8 to 6, and Saturdays and Sundays 10 to 5. And don't forget their coin-operated location by 7-Eleven just off Highway 17 South is open to 11 p.m. It's camp day today at Tim Hortons right across the country, including in Lloydminster. And Big Brothers and Big Sisters has been able to send some of their littles to camp in the past, and they are again this year sending some littles to camp. So the nice thing about this year's camp day is, for those of us who don't drink coffee, I know, crazy, right? You can still participate because they have a new donut this year. Camp Day, a donut that you can buy. And when I stop by, who do I see working behind the drive-through? So if your drive-through is a little bit slower, just off Highway 16, up by that dollar store, that's because my wife is working there this morning and working the drive-through. She might even be done by now, but if you went through and it was a little bit slower, it's because Heather was working there this morning. So if you think about it, you want to order a little bigger coffee this morning, you can do that. 100% of the proceeds from hot and iced coffee sales go to the Tim Hortons Foundation camps, which, yes, Big Brothers, Big Sisters have been lucky enough to send some of their littles to that camp, and will so again this year. Lloydminster Auto Club is holding their 47th annual specialty vehicle show this Saturday at Lions Park, right across from the Lloyd Mall. Registration goes from 9 until noon, and the show runs until 4 p.m. Donations this year are going to the Border City Connects and the Fred North Foundation. The Lloydminster Rowing Club invites you to learn how to row this Saturday at Bud Miller Park. No experience is required, and you can stop by anytime between 9 and 4 p.m. You don't have to register or anything like that, and they'll teach you how to row. Great way to get started. Extreme Indian Relay Racing is coming to the Border City. It'll be in Lloydminster along with the RCMP Musical Ride, July 26th and 27th. Gates open at 5 p.m. on Saturday, July 26th at noon on Sunday. It's free for kids 12 and under to attend. Cupcakes for Caregivers is proudly brought to you by Sobeys Lloydminster and the Lloydminster and District United Way, and we're heading out today to deliver a dozen signature cupcakes from Sobeys and say thank you to another great caregiver. And you can nominate a caregiver just by sending an email to livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. Just tell us about your caregiver, and they could receive a dozen cupcakes, and even better yet, get recognized for the incredible work they do as a career, an occupation, or simply out of love and compassion for maybe one of your family members. So please keep those nominations coming again by emailing livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and will help get your life back. Any kind of fire, flood, disaster, 1-833-246-8326. They'll take care of your property, they'll take care of your belongings, but they really take pride in taking care of you and your family. They're local, And once again, they are also Lloydminster's largest restoration company, BioClean Disaster Services, 1-833-246-8326. We'll take a break, and when we come back, Nicole's going to tell us all about the Vermillion Fair, which starts on Thursday.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Welcome back inside the new Lloydminster Nissan. Nicole Polishuk is the president of the Vermilion Ag Society and joins us to take a look at this year's Vermilion Fair. And we're just talking about some of the history of the Vermilion Fair. So 119 years old this year.
It is,
Nicole.
yes. We are. We're actually older than the Calgary Stampede. I learned that this year while I was watching that, which is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
We're one of the oldest fairs around, and I think one of the big things for us is that we're still truly agricultural. We carry all of our livestock shows, and then we've also got our machinery and equipment, but then there's something here for everybody. Any interest, we've pretty much covered it for you.
That took my first question away. My first question is, why is it so popular? It is very popular.
It
but
is.
It's the whole surrounding area, I guess.
Yeah, it's really popular. I think one of our big things is that we do a one gate price right at the very beginning, and then you get run of the whole fairgrounds for the whole day, and that's a really big thing. We get lots of families coming back to it year after year. We get schools using us as their reunion spot. Like, it's just an amazing sort of community building sort of place for us every year.
And while the Wainwright Stampede gets rain, you guys get nice weather every year.
We're sure hoping that there's going to be amazing weather for us.
Let's talk about that price, because you said one price to get you in, gets you to everything.
Everything, yeah, absolutely everything. So you walk in our door, in our doorways, and it's $15 for the day, or it's $30 for all 3 days, and it's 6 and up are who needs to pay, and then that's literally gets you into every event that we run. Our chuck wagon races, our modified tractor pulls, the Lawn Mower Races, all of the exhibits, all of the livestock shows, the hall exhibits, the trade fair. So really, once you're on our grounds, you might have to buy a little bit of food or drink and maybe pay for a ride bracelet, but other than that, everything is ready to go for you.
Where do you want to start? Chuck wagon races, entertainment? Where would you like to go first, Nicole? Ag?
Let's start agriculture because that's
Sure.
really our basis. So
Sure.
yeah, so our basis is agriculture. That's one of our fundamental sort of mottos that we fall under. And so we really take pride in still hosting livestock shows. We've got a sheep show that is running Thursday and Friday. We have beef shows that run all 3 days. We have light horse or equine shows. There's a jumping show on Thursday, and then junior shows on the Friday, and then kind of open classes on the Saturday. And then we have, I think probably a big draw for lots of people is the heavy horse shows. So we have some pretty amazing heavy horse hitches coming in. I think 2, maybe 3 big 6-horse hitches coming in this year. So yeah, we've kind of cover all sorts of stuff. There's, and then there's other things that are kind of in there as well that we kind of put in with the livestock as well. So.
Is it still called Old McDonald's Barn?
It is still called Old McDonald's Barn for us, yes.
Yeah.
And that's, our petting zoo that is, very well attended. There's lineups always for the kids to be there to go in and see the cats. And then on the side, there's the sandbox that the kids can spend hours in, which we really love having. And I think lots of the parents love having it as well.
So too. Yeah.
They can watch the chuck wagon races and the kids can play in the sand.
Yeah. What time are those chuck wagon races?
So the chuck wagon races run at 7:30 every night on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And just before those, we'll have our chariot races. So we do both. And then, they'll do chuck wagons. And then after the chuck wagons, we have our nightly entertainment on our grandstand. And then Saturday night, we kind of finish it off with our big fireworks thing that happens about 11 o'clock at night.
There's a special performer this year.
There is a special performer, yeah. So on Saturday night, we have Danny Hooper coming down to be our main grandstand show. And it's really kind of a cool thing. Danny was one of his first performances as a country act was at the Vermillion Fair 50 years ago, because it's his 50th anniversary this year, and he's been out doing all sorts of promotion on that. And so we are lucky enough to be able to have him back as on his 50th anniversary tour back at our grandstand show.
Again, included with your...
Included with the gate admission, you betcha.
Who else do you have performing this year?
Oh, you asked a tough question.
I did. I will always, yeah.
And my cheat sheet did not tell me that. I know that on Thursday night, it's more of a family performance, and it's more like a circus act kind of thing. And then Friday night is another singer that is out and about, and she actually is coming back for us because last year Friday night was the only thing that got rained out. Last year we had crazy weather on Friday night, and so it started pouring rain right when she was supposed to come start singing. So she has graciously decided to come back to us for this Friday night.
The beer gardens is always popular too.
Always popular, yeah.
What time's that start?
So
right after?
they actually open at noon.
Oh yeah,
Because why not?
yeah.
But things really kind of get jumping down there about that 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, and then go straight through till 3 in the morning. So
it goes till 3.
Yeah, we're full on.
Yeah. So I see a lot of tired people walking around.
That's right, yeah.
After the Vermilion Fair. But you guys do camping too, right?
We do a lot of camping. Yeah, the camping's free. You can come in on this coming Sunday. That's when we allow people to start coming in. And it's just across from our fairgrounds on the Lakeland College football field. And we'll have parking stalls all set out, and you kind of pick your spot and get to park in there, and then just enjoy the fair for the 3 days.
And West Coast Amusements again this year.
West Coast Amusements, yeah, will be there, bring in all their rides and all their fun activities and the donuts and all the good food as well, and games and everything.
It's nice to walk around on the grass out in Vermilion.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are extremely lucky, and actually that's one of the things that West Coast always compliments us on, is that our fairgrounds are all grass. There's no pavement, and so a lot of our vendors actually come in and say it's such a pleasure to be here because it's just comfortable, it's nice grass, everybody can walk around, it's not hot. You know, if you get those really wonderful fair days when it's,
Yep.
you know, 25 or 30 degrees Celsius out there, it's still pretty nice, you know, and we've been putting in a lot of effort in the last little while to put in some new trees, so we're building our shade and that kind of stuff for people as well, so yeah.
The trade show is always very popular as well.
Always very popular, sold out again this year, so we've got lots of different vendors in, people that you've seen before, definitely, but also there's some new ones that are coming in. Every year we get a few new people that'll come in, and so it's full and away we go, and hopefully you can find what you want at our trade show.
No, we were kind of joking that if you're walking it, the parade route is one of the longest parade
Yeah.
routes in Western Canada, I think. It would compete with Calgary Stampede.
Yeah.
When is the parade?
So the parade starts at 11 o'clock on Thursday, July 24th, and it's long. Thank goodness this year, as president, I get to sit and ride. I don't have to walk it. I'm extremely
I've walked
happy.
it. It's a long parade route. It's right
Yeah.
across the city.
Yeah, it takes it's about 2.5 miles worth of, slow paced and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, so.
A lot of candy.
Lots of candy. Yeah, there's a lot of candy that gets thrown, and kids go home with big grocery bags full
Yeah.
of candy.
Walk across the bridge.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's usually a few water guns out as well, especially if it's nice weather.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Cross fingers. That's
Yeah.
right. So yeah, it starts at 11 o'clock, and there's a route on our website. So if you haven't been, you can definitely find a spot where it is. It is kind of funny because you will see the same families in the same spots year after year, and even waiting for the parade becomes a huge social event for people, because they're like, oh, like I've always sat here and I know that such and such a family's always beside me, right?
Yeah.
And so you may not have seen these people for a year, but you have a huge big visit. And I think that's one of the big things about our fair, is that it's just feels like a huge big get together. Everybody is having these conversations with
Sort of like a
everybody else. Homecoming, yeah, every year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are we forgetting? Where can you go to get all the information?
So our website is Vermilion Ag Society. Fairly simple, that's good. And all of our information is on there. All of the times are there. We also have another showcase stage,
Oh, yeah,
which has
that's right,
got
too.
some other singers that are coming on that have been found. And so the list of all of those people are going to be on the website. Also, the list of all our vendors in the trade show will be on there as well. So it's a really good resource. And
Yeah, that stage is always busy.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really busy. It's right out beside our food vendors and that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of a nice little area. We put it on grass. We put a tent up so you can sit under some shade, listen to some music, have some food.
Yep.
Kind of works out really well.
And do you guys still do a 50-50?
Yeah, we're doing a 50-50, so
Okay.
it's online. You can connect through it on our website as well. And you can also, there'll be QR codes up around the grounds, so you can kind of catch up with that then.
Awesome. Well, I was telling Nicole I used to do remotes out there every year, and so I know a lot about the Vermilion Fair
Yeah.
because you're telling people this is what's happening today all
Yeah.
the time, right?
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. Is there anything we're forgetting though?
Well, we've brought in food vendors. Fair food is always a big deal, right? And so we've got...
If you're not eating many donuts, you're doing something wrong.
You are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And we have food vendors that have come back for years and years. And our mini donut lady is one of them. She's happy and excited to be there for us. But we've got a couple new things, like they've got fish and chips coming in, which we've never had before, and some new food vendors. One of our local restaurants is coming in to do pizza, which is new for us, or they're new to us this year. So yeah, there's all sorts of, I think there's 20 or 25 different food vendors on our grounds to try and keep everybody fed.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
And we didn't talk about the Lawn Mower Races, because we brought an expert in to talk Lawn Mower Races. Heidi Westergaard is going to join us, and we're going to talk. I see him smiling at me right now. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Heidi will talk about the Lawn Mower Races.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at LNA CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at LNA CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. LNA CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster. At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
Welcome to Wellings of Lloydminster and a community of ageless explorers. At Wellings, age is but a number and adventure is always part of the day. Come experience carefreedom living at Wellings of Lloydminster, where adults 55 plus enjoy a vibrant, stress-free way of life with a whole lot of fun. Stop in and say hello to their new general manager, Nicole, at 7211 72nd Avenue. That's over on the Alberta side. And visit wellingsoflloydminster.com for more. Wellings of Lloydminster, carefreedom living starts here. Well, we're excited to have, we still have Nicole Polishuk with us, president of the Ag Society in Vermilion, and joining us again, repeat
Offender?
you can
call it that.
Is Heidi Westergaard with
Heidi Westergaard, but that's okay.
What did I say?
You said Heine. I get called that all the time.
You do,
yeah,
eh?
but that's okay.
Well, let's talk about, first of all, how did June go? How'd the June Lawn Mower Races go?
So there's a lot of things that have been happening, but first off, I got to take and do a shout out to the Lloydminster Ag Society for a very good event they had here last week. I saw your podcast down there, and it's always good to take and see the communities and the success that they have in the different events. So good shout out to them. We did have a couple of people from the Lloyd X come down to our Canada Day festivities and then help out with the stock dog trials. So cool stuff. But for our June event, we had an amazing event. It was the weather did hamper us a little bit. We had forecasted for about an inch of rain. So
That's right, too.
Yeah, we had 11 people that registered online that never showed up. But we had 20 machines that showed up, and we literally ran them to pieces because we were going to fill all the race classes, and we had a great time. And the other part with that was we had the Gears and Cheers car show, which was pretty good. I think there was 22 to 25 vehicles that showed up on that one. So again, the weather, guys didn't want to take and bring their rides out in fear of getting, hail or anything like that, because it did look like it was going to be a nasty day or nasty weekend. But all in all, I think the event itself, we gauged people coming through the gates. We had 325 to 350 people that came through.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
For sitting up wrapped in blankets and drinking hot chocolate and coffee, it was awesome to take and see the people that came there, the families and whatnot. And this year was really good because I got to race. So I participated in the event that I've so tirelessly worked on getting put together, and I can't say to the volunteers that stepped up to take and to take over the positions and to take and make sure everything ran smoothly. They have done such an exceptional job. We had a fresh fella come in to take and do the pit boss. I had nothing but rave reviews from the rest of the committee for what he took and did and how everything ran smoothly. So to Roger Oldenburg, thank you very much. He's a big instrumental part in the Vermilion Curling Club. So volunteers showed the community. And he just said, Heine, you put so much time into getting this stuff ready. I'll run the pit, you run the races. And that I did. I ran literally, I did 50 plus laps.
How'd you do?
I did pretty good. I held my
50
own.
laps, a lot of laps.
It is a lot of laps when there's no suspension, and I'm not 20 anymore. So. And to be out there, and the other part was that I got to experience the camaraderie in the pits from not an organizer, but from a racer. We had guys that were breaking down, and it was everybody pools together, and we're looking for parts, we're looking for keys, we're looking for wheels, we're looking for front ends, whatever piece is needed. And somebody has an issue, everybody steps up. It's like, all right, let's get this guy back on the track again. We had one fella, it was his 20th anniversary. They came out and he wanted to take and do a special anniversary lap with his wife because they had met during Lawn Mower Racing 20 years ago, and they had kind of pursued it all throughout. And he blew his transmission just before his lap, and he was supposed to go out. We ended up pushing him out across the finish line with his wife sitting on his lap, and then he did his little presentation thing and gave her his class ring and some real cool stuff. So it's that kind of atmosphere and that fellowship and camaraderie that lawn mower racing is. It is, like I said before in the last one, it's a grassroots community and race event where that it's easy to get into, and the success is shared by everybody. So it's just so much fun to take and do, and and we've been feverishly working on the track. So there's been a lot of activity at the ag grounds here for the past couple of months. We have in fact got our safety rails completed. We've got a new announcer booth that's being worked on here, and it'll be finished by the time we get to race day here at the fair next week. We also have a few others. Our barriers are set up permanently out there for the summer, so we just got our track going. We've done test and tune night, and we're going to be having another one on Thursday night. And the other neat part about that is that there's so many different activities that happen on that ag grounds. We did our test and tune here about a week ago. It was a Tuesday night. Not thinking of what else is going on, there was 40 breakaway ropers that showed up. So you got breakaway roping happening over in the arena in front of the grandstands. We've got lawnmowers ripping up the track over on the other side of the track. And we had a work bee going on over on the far side where there's a group of very dedicated individuals that have been working on creating 150 by 250 foot sand ring for equine events. So this is a Spruce Meadows quality, state-of-the-art ground that has been put in. They've done 2W panels. The groundwork was done by OCD Earthworks out of Southern Alberta, and he's amazing when it comes to doing that sort of stuff. So we now have the same dirt for our equine facilities that is around our track for the chuck wagon and chariot events, as well as in front of the grandstand. So, and there's been nothing, last year was the first year they ran on it, and we have had nothing but rave reviews on how great that facility is. And I think that's where Vermilion really shines, is that we look at the facilities that we have for the 119 years that the association has been in place and operating, that we've been able to be fortunate enough to take and have access to this, and through the CFIP grants, so from the government, we were fortunate last year to take and be awarded one of those grants, which is that money is being put back in. And there's a neat thing with the grants is that as an ag society, we have the opportunity to take and put money back towards through donations in kind, volunteering. And the one thing that is, again, I'll say it again, is really unique about Vermilion is that we are 100% a volunteer organization with the exception of an office manager and then 2 summer students that come in. So the community pulls together to take and do all of the fabrication, construction, and looking after these grounds. And it's just, it really stands to show the character of Vermilion, but not just Vermilion, because it's also outside places that are coming in. We're drawing from all across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and BC for our events. The BC guys are coming back. They've confirmed. They said they're coming to take our money. And I'm just, yeah, you know what? That'll be good. We'll be there. We're ready to keep it.
Nicole, you gotta love that enthusiasm.
Oh, and we see that enthusiasm with all of our volunteers.
Yeah.
Everybody is so passionate about the Ag Society, whether you come in and do an hour's worth of volunteer during the actual fair, or you're here like Heina, where you're putting in hours and hours, weeks on weeks.
We stopped counting.
Yeah, most of us stopped counting about the
So,
amount of time that we put in. It is incredible.
Well, and Nicole was telling me when she goes to talk to other organizations across the states and everywhere about the fair, Lawn Mower Racing is always something people want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what? So that was the other part I took and I looked into before I came, because there's been so many other lawnmower races that have popped up. So just quick recap, Provost, they took and did their Kinsman Splash and Smash, lawnmower racing. Wimborne, Alberta, lawnmower racing on Canada Day. We've got our event in June. And then we get into Beachy is doing, so they're actually part of a Triple Crown series. So they were 2 other communities. And then Shaunavon, Saskatchewan, they're holding the Boomtown Cup this weekend, which is a massive fundraiser for the area. Anything that's raised there goes directly back into their community. So it's things like that. And then we get into our July events. So we have Vermilion coming up here next week. We've got 2 days of racing there. Once we get out of that, then we get into Two Hills Ag Society. They have gone and they've done a track. So we're 45 minutes away from another track. Then we've got Cherry Grove. They've been running for 8 years. They have just redone their entire track. They had a test and tune here about 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, I was tied up on some other work that had to be done. But so there's another track. It's an hour and 45 minutes away. There's so many opportunities for people to get into lawnmower racing and to have so much fun. And again, the cost, like I've got a $50 lawnmower. I got it figured out. We got it running. So the $50 mower is in action. And then we've got one other one my son has worked on, and we got it going too. And it was a donated free lawnmower. So just to get in a stock class, and it's the best way for anybody to take and get into it. My nephew is out from Manitoba for the summer. We put him onto a mower for the test and tune night just to see how he can handle mine. It's a little quicker than what he was expecting, but he got through the night and he was having a lot of fun with it and kind of ripping back and forth. And I got to take and just pick on him just a little bit because he did crash it into a barrier. But what that did was it proved to us the safety barriers that we got from Hobblestone out here that we had Thomas make for us. We filled them with about 150 pounds worth of water, so about less than a quarter full of water, but it's enough that when the machine hits it, that it bounces the barrier safely out of the way and then redirects the driver back onto the track without anybody getting hurt. And that's what we're going for, is we want to create a safe environment for the racers to come out, and we want to encourage the different ages to take and do this. So Power Wheels, ages 3 to 6.
You told me that was
Junior
sensational.
stock, yeah. Oh, look up the Vermilion River Lawnmower Racing, and then you've got to find that Power Wheels video. I will share it with you because it's a minute and a half of pure bliss. You will cry from laughter because these kids are amazing.
Yeah, maybe put it in the comment section We'll copy the link.
Yeah, you
Put it in
betcha.
the comment section of the video, because I
Yeah.
want to see that.
Yeah, so it's so many other things, and you've got, so in our stock classes, so we've got the junior stock, which is ages 6 to 12, and then we have the open stock, which is 12 and up, and then we get into our stock modified classes, and that is you're looking basically ages 12 and up, and then you get into our super stocks and our pro stocks, and then our outlaws. And I mean, everybody loves the outlaws. Outlaws are like watching bull riding. You're just waiting for the wreck. Safely though, because we have safety barriers and stuff in place, but you're just, it's so fun to be part of, and it's so fun with the enthusiasm of the people that get out there and racing, because you have that, a low input cost for tons of fun.
Well, now I see lawnmowers come up all the time on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, and they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah. So the gentleman who had his transmission blown,
Yes.
does he put a new transmission in that, or just start over? What's going to
No,
be?
so I've never seen it before because I obviously didn't pay attention, but he stripped the entire thing down. He pulled the transmission out on a blanket in the pit, and he pulled every gear out. He found a cog that had gotten broken, and he put another piece of keyway in there, and he got the transmission put back together again by the time we were done racing. He said, if I had another 15 minutes, he says, I'd be out there on the track with you. But I mean, that's the dedication. So he's working with very little to take and keep this thing going, and it's the backyard garage mechanic. And my wife made a comment here a couple days ago, and she said, you know, the one thing, we were talking about the lawnmower racing and the time that I spend, and how the nephew is really enjoying the time out here with the lawnmowers and stuff. It's just a new experience for him. But she says it's just neat to see where the people are going with this. And she says you see the parents, you see a dad with a son or a daughter, and they're there, and it's that family, it's that bonding, and it's an inexpensive way to take and spend some time together.
So you said 2 days during the fair?
Yeah, so we're going to be running on Friday, where we open the gates basically at 9 o'clock. We're going to let drivers start coming in. Racing, so we'll be doing time trials from registrations open at 9, and then time trials will start. Once the drivers get there, then we'll start running them through time trials. Oh, another cool fact, we bought a radar gun so we can see how fast we're going. So I got clocked at 66.
And not bragging or anything?
Not bragging, it's actually pretty slow for that. But
what was your fastest then?
I think we took a clock somewhere around 87.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's fast enough.
It's moving.
on a lawnmower.
That's fast on a lawnmower.
Well, it's in perspective. So if you look at how low you're sitting to the ground,
yeah,
and then it's like they say, like to drive a go-kart and to drive an F1 car is pretty similar, because you're looking at perspective-wise your size versus your speed. It feels like you're doing 200 miles an hour out there, and when you are driving that lawnmower, it feels way faster than 60 kilometers an hour.
I bet.
And then you hit a bump, and it's like, oh my God, what have I done? Why am I going? And
Yeah.
yeah. So, but the family part of it, you get out there and you see the kids are driving the stock mowers, and then they're getting the modified mowers, and then they're moving up in the classes, and dad's driving a super stock, and then you got grandpa comes in because he's the mechanic, he can fix it all.
Yeah.
If dad can't fix it, grandpa can fix it.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's that family, and again, I said it earlier in the other interview, but you see them picnic blankets, you see them sitting on bleachers, you see that family dynamic and that bonding and that community sense and spirit, and just the general hospitality. That's the other thing my wife said. She said it was neat watching when you have the junior drivers coming into the next class. So the adults that are driving, the older guys that are out there, older people that are out there, they're not aggressively pushing the younger driver to take and go faster beyond what they feel they're comfortable with. They'll give them the room, and they'll pass where that it's safe. They won't push. It's still about winning, but it's about doing it and being respectful and responsible to the other drivers that are out there, so everybody has a good experience. And not saying that stuff doesn't happen, but you know what, we do. You see that people are conscientious about the kids that are out there and making sure that it's positive, because if we don't encourage our youth to take and do these things and to be involved in these things, what's going to happen is we're not going to have anything down the road. And we need to take, and it doesn't matter what sport it is, whether you're driving a race mower, you're playing hockey, you're soccer, any of those things. If we don't encourage our youth to take and be involved with what's going on, and I mean, that's right from in our case, it's from the build, it's from the organizing, it's from the volunteering. It's being part of the group and then learning along on what I feel is positive affirmation for youth and society, because it gives them some skills to take and have, as well as it teaches them a bit of responsibility when it comes to, all right, you're out on the track, you're going to be going 30, 40, 50, 60 kilometers an hour. You have to be aware of your surroundings. So you have to have a cognitive awareness of what's happening around you, as well as how did I take and get to this point? So I'm driving and something's not right. Do I just keep it to the floor, or do I maybe back off and figure something's not right here? Right. And we see that as the kids are going along, that they start to see more of an awareness. And I think as they grow up and they become into young adults, that I'm not going to say we're going to change the world, but it sure would be nice to take and have a little more positive influence from the youth coming up through things like this and through these programs, and
learn it from grandpa.
And learn it from grandpa, because there's a teachable skill that comes, that's passed down. You can't take and buy that anywhere, because there's just something about spending that time with your parents, with your grandparents, having that mutual respect and understanding, and then learning those skills to take and share with the next generation, so that we can continue to take and do this. Vermilion Ag Society, we're fortunate to be in a position where we have the facilities to take and do what we take and do, whether it's equine events, whether it's modified tractor pulls that are happening there on the Friday and the Saturday.
We forgot about those.
Yeah, so, thank you. Yeah, so it's those different things that we have the facilities, and we've invested into our facilities, and we've invested not only financially, but we've invested within volunteer hours, materials supplied, and time spent, so that the community and the area, not just Vermilion, but we're looking at, like I said in the last one too, when we look at stuff as an ag society, we look at it as Region 4, because that is the region we're in. So that's Lac La Biche, Wainwright, Lloydminster, Coal Lake, every spot in between that fits in within that Region 4. So I think it's important that we also, as ag societies, that we support the events that we're hosting, whether it's we go there and we buy the pass to get through the gate to take and enjoy the event with them, or offer, if we have something that you guys can take and use. So for instance, the heavy horse, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of box stalls. Instead of us buying more box stalls and putting that stuff in, we're borrowing them from Lloydminster, because they're done with their box stalls now, and they would sit till next year's event. So we're going to borrow the box stalls from Lloydminster, bring them to Vermilion, set them up, bring them back. Lloydminster in the past has borrowed our tie stalls for the cattle, so when they have a cattle show, we bring those things in. So it's that synergy between associations to be successful on every level we take and do. So the more we can work together and help each other out, the better off we all are. And then we can boast with the success of our events as a region, because we've drawn in people from all these different areas, and we've shared our experience, shared our venues, and we've brought in positive aspects into other people's lives kind of throughout. So,
how do you get registered for the Lawn Mower Races?
So the registration for the Lawn Mower side, you can take and go onto the Vermilion Ag Society website and go into the events, and there is a tag there, or a tab for the Lawn Mower Racing. So you can click on that and you can take and get registered that way. There's also a QR code if you go onto the Vermilion River Lawn Mower Racing Facebook page. You can register through that, or you can take and phone me, and we can go from there. So there's lots of different ways to do it, and there is a couple other things too. Our September event, so we have the fair, but I got to take and push. We're doing our race under the lights in September on the 13th. And last year we took and did some snowmobile grass drags there. We're just feeling the waters for seeing what could be done. And I just want to put out that we're looking to engage interest from the communities on whether or not that this is something that we should take and pursue. So last year, because of the weather, we had 3 inches of rain. A few days before, everything was soft and wet, and it was cold and whatnot. But Devin Snellgrove has asked if I could just say that, if there's guys out there that want to take and get involved and want to take and do some snowmobile grass drags, Vermilion has an irrigated snowmobile grass drag track that was put in 20 years ago. And they have resurrected it last year to take and do it. So the facilities are there. Vermilion, again, it's an amazing facility. There's so much more there than what people realize about what we have and what we can take and do as far as a community and an ag society. So just put it out there, and if there's anybody that's got interest in that, Devin Snellgrove is a contact that can reach out to me, and then I can put them in contact with whoever that is. So,
what times on Friday and Saturday?
So for the Lawn Mower Races on Friday, racing starts at noon, and we'll be done by 3 o'clock. because we have to be out of the infield by 3:30 so that they can start to prep the track for the chariot races starting at 5, and then the chucks will take and run at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Saturday?
Saturday, start racing at noon, and then we're done at 3, and same thing.
Same thing.
But Saturday is a different animal because you're going to finish watching the Lawn Mower Races, and then you're going to go straight from there. You're going to walk over, you're going to take and grab a refreshment, and you're going to watch the modified tractor pulls start at 3:30 on Saturday. And then they'll take and run usually about 5:30ish, I think, 6 o'clock, depending on how many pulls and stuff there are.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and the modifieds on Friday they start at 5 o'clock, so the modified tractors. So you have a little bit of a burger break in there, so we're done at 3. You can grab a beverage and something to eat, and then you can go over and you can watch the modifieds Friday night and go from there.
Thanks, Simon.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Kurt,
Thank
as
you.
always.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Nicole.
it.
You betcha.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
wonderful.
Great to have you guys here.
We appreciate it.
Love the enthusiasm of the Vermilion Fair, and I think that there is. I'm glad you said they're always. I think people tend to think there's a competition between the Wainwright Stampede, Vermilion Fair, Lloyd Fair, everything. It's just it's nice to hear everybody working together, right?
Yep.
You come to Lloyd, watch the monster trucks. You can go to Vermilion. You can watch the Lawn Mower Races. You can watch the entertainment. It's
Yeah.
all why would you only go to one?
Well, if we're all successful, I mean, it's part of that community, and it's part of the ag societies and the region is to take and make sure that if we're all successful, it's going to bring more people into our area. It's going to bring more dollars to our businesses, more shopping. Every town, when there's a fair, you've got your downtown becomes active. You've got more people stopping in at the service stations and fueling up. You've got more food going through the restaurants. Hotels are filling up, like the Lloyd event here. It's a busy beehive of activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And Joey Hurley's going to join us tomorrow here at the new Lloydminster Nissan, and we'll be talking about Pride Week in Lloydminster, which is next week.